Welcome to Local Leverage, your competitive edge in business. Today's guest is a true trailblazer, a mother, immigrant, top 3% realtor, and the unapologetic queen of social media real estate branding. She built her empire from scratch, starting with zero connections, zero budget, and zero fear of the camera. With over 150,000 followers across all the platforms and 1,400 member real estate teams spanning 40 plus states, she's mastered the art of attraction marketing, turning her personal brand into personal wealth. We're diving deep into how she scaled a national team, built a brand that sells without buying leads, and what it really takes to dominate as a modern agent in today's digital-first world. Please join me in welcoming GoGo Bethke. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, the GoGo.
Thank you so much for having me. I just tagged you as you were talking, so that's that.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that. Good. I'm just super fascinated. I mean, you are top 3% real estate producer, but really you're an immigrant that came to the country and didn't have any sphere of influence, didn't really have these connections, and I think just really did it through hustle to begin with, and then have built a strong name and then built a large organization beneath you. Tell us a little bit about those early days. I'm curious about how you approached it, how you maintained kind of the commitment and the mindset to make it successful in the early days.
I love how it says math matters. I'm a huge numbers nerd, and my trackers have trackers. I'm sure later in the conversation we'll get to that. So I have a little bit, I feel like we are designed the way we are designed by God, right? We have personality traits. I don't know why I'm super competitive. I just am. So anything I ever do, I have to win. I have to be on the top of the list or I'm not doing it. So if I'm doing it, then I'm doing it with the intentions of going, and if I may say this, balls to the walls. Like, I've never half-assed anything in my life. If I'm doing it, I'm giving it all I got, right? So then when I look back, then I can be like, well, it just wasn't for me. Not because I didn't give it all I got, right? If it's something's not working, it just wasn't for me in the books, right? So anything I ever do, I always go in with that mindset. Now, you're never going to see me number one, you know, sky gliders or whatever those people call that, they're like just flying across the sky. Like, to me, those people are crazy, right? But anything that it's important to me, I will be on top of that list or not on the list at all, right? So anything I ever did this way. So when I got into real estate and got into the production side of things, just like everybody else, I got licensed and I'm going to be making millions, right? And very quickly I realized that, hold on a minute, I don't actually know anybody. Like, you need people to buy houses. People live in
Right.
houses, right? And so then I had to figure out, okay, if I don't know people and people don't know me, right? Because the best marketer wins, not because of who you know, who knows you. Yeah, it matters who you know too in the world of entrepreneurship and the mindset and all of that. But who knows you, it really matters when you're still in the making money phase, right? And so when I got into real estate, I realized I need people. Mind you, I was 21 when I came to the US. So I lived a whole life before I came to America, right?
Right,
I
right.
had no college friends here, no cousins here, no childhood friends here. Like, I knew no one, like literally no one. And so then I had to have the conversation with myself then, okay, if people are my potential clients and I don't actually know anyone, then they are strangers, right? And then where are the strangers? And I figured out at that time, now mind you, this was 2011, people were on Facebook. So I was like, everybody and their grandmother is on Facebook. And last I checked, everybody needs a roof above their head. So everybody's my potential client. All I need to do is go on Facebook, create an account. So I created GoGo's Real Estate, and I started talking to them like, just kind of monologuing and documenting of my day to day, what it's like to be a realtor. And over time, it just kind of grew because people are truly interested, right? Like, especially back in 2011, nobody was doing that. Nobody really get to see in of what it's like to run a business on whatever business people were running, right? And so that's what I did. I created GoGo's Real Estate
How,
on Facebook and I ran with it, and I took it over to Instagram over time.
how long did it take to build an audience and for you to translate um, content and audience into deal flow?
it was pretty much right away. I mean, I've never bought a lead in my entire life. I've never been like a Zillow preferred agent or,
Happy to hear that.
I mean, yeah, so never. I pretty much everyone ever came to me. It came from getting to know me on Facebook, right? Like eventually, I might have met them at an event, or they might have seen me in a podcast, or they watched a tour of a property that I did, and they reached out or something. But in a roundabout way, it all came back to they saw something at some point on social media, right? And then they recognized me at the grocery store, and they walked up to me or whatever, right? But
Yeah.
every deal I ever got came from social media.
Looking back on
And
those
how
early,
fast? I didn't answer to how fast. My first year of real estate, I made $16,000. So it wasn't
okay,
like
so it
as
was a little
growth,
slow
right?
build. Okay, yeah,
And then every year after that, I have doubled my income.
good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
So looking back, I mean, those early days, how much of kind of that competitive energy and spirit is tied to kind of being an immigrant and coming over with nothing? Is that what forged that, or did you always have that competitive drive even before coming to the U.S.?
I don't know when the competitiveness started. I don't recall. I mean, even back in Romania, I feel like I may have had it. It wasn't until like I'm a late bloomer, right? Like later in life when I started like, hold on, why am I here? What purpose do I serve? Why did I even come to America? Like, so now if we are looking at that, if I look at my American dream, if you think about it, the cost, everything has a cost in life, right? And so the cost to my American dream is that I can't just go over to my parents on a Sunday night for dinner, right?
Right.
Nobody from my childhood, none of my sisters or cousins or childhood best friends can just come over and celebrate my birthday. There's no Christmas, there's no Thanksgiving. There's like you build this huge house, you move into this $1 million property and nobody's coming over, right? So there is a price for that. And then so I look at it then if I am paying this high price where I get to see my childhood friends and my family every 2 years, right? Then it's better be freaking worth it. Then it's better look back and be like, okay, I did it because I created a life that I would have never been able to have otherwise, right? And so that's my drive. My drive is like, well, if I can do this, then what else can I do, right? And I also feel like being born and raised in communism, I know most people would think something's wrong with me to look at it that way, but I look at it as an advantage. It's an advantage that I have that most Americans don't because they have never had a bad day. They think it's a bad day, but they never had a bad day. They never got, 1 gallon of milk and two bread and a pound of flour for a whole month of a family of four and then figure out how to feed them. They never got an orange for Christmas and was like, that was the best Christmas you ever had, right? They never had to freaking wear a uniform, not because you were in a private school, just because everybody freaking wore a uniform in the whole country because that's what they told you that you had to wear, right? So there was no freedom. So I feel like I have that pessiness inside of me to be like, oh, don't try to make me be like everybody else, right? And it's an advantage. So I use that as fuel. I don't even think about it. It's just I have so much fire inside my soul for never be in a situation like that again, even though I couldn't do anything about it. I was 8 years old when communism finally ended and I was just born into it, right? It's just I wouldn't wish it on anyone, and here it's really like the fire in my
Yeah,
soul
strong
to
motivational force for you. Yeah.
yeah
Is
feel
that
like
something that you feel like you draw on every day? Is that constant awareness there of that, or
yeah. And
has it
then for a
shifted?
second we talked a little bit of politics, right, with the friend that we have in common. For a while there I felt like even this country may have been heading into that direction of like losing that freedom, like the ability to say whatever you want whenever you want it on whichever platform, right? And yeah, I use it in everything in my life. I will talk up for the little people that can't. I cannot, if I see a handicapped person, I have to give him money. I cannot not give him money, right? I feel like God has given me a brain and a mouth. and I should use
Use them
both.
both. Right,
I
right.
should use both. Yeah, to make sure that we have the freedom that this country stands for, that we get to be whoever we want to be.
Very good. Hey, I want to transition to what you've built since being kind of a top producing real estate agent yourself. I mean, you've amassed a team of folks in your EXP organization, 1,400 plus. That's super impressive. And I'm curious to learn more about how you approach recruitment, and also how you manage a team like that. Maybe we can start on the recruiting side. I'm assuming because you've built up such a strong presence online, excuse me, that's a key tenet to it. But yeah, what are your strategies for recruitment?
It's same as the production side, right? I've never done anything different. I've never called an agent. I don't hit them up. I don't blow them up. I don't, you know, what I mean, I don't burn relationship with the, as they call it, EXP all over them, right? I've never done. I build I build a community, and that's what I always done, right? I love my people and my people around me. I'm a people person. And so even on the transaction side, I didn't cold call, I didn't door knock, I didn't like I waited, I built a platform where they can find me when they need me, right? And that's pretty much what I did on the transaction side. So when I switched over to EXP, nothing really changed but my audience. So if you think about it, prior to EXP, I was talking to my potential buyers and sellers. Same platforms, right? Facebook and Instagram. But my content was catered towards buyers and sellers, somebody who's going to help me make that next commission, right? And then when I switched over to EXP, my audience changed because I was already a top producing agent. I knew how to sell. I knew that transactions just going to come to me as long as I freaking feel like selling them for the rest of my life. But I knew that I wanted another way of getting paid. So most realtors, there's this thing called a real estate roller coaster, right? Where it's like you make all of this money, you make $50,000 this month, and for the next 3 months you make nothing, and then you make $34,000, and then the next month you make $9,000, right? And so it's a roller coaster, but our bills come in on the same day, that same amount every single month, right? So I was like, I need to figure out how to do that, how to have an income that comes in no matter what. Not only that, but at this time I was 30-something woman, and I'm like, what if I get pregnant? What if I get pregnant with triplets? Like, I can't pull my weight to make the same amount of money to provide the life that we are used to, right? So I was like, there has to be another way how we can make money, and in real estate, right? And so I realized when EXP kind of came about, I realized that you can do that. You can have a source of income that it's more like a salary, that it comes on the same day of every month, right? And so, but how you make that is a little different. It is tied to commissions, but not your own commission. It's other agents' commission. So then you have to build what we call a downline, an organization, right? And so I said, okay. At that time, I was already a top producer, and I knew I can change other agents' lives. So when I came over to EXP, I made a pretty big deal about it, right? I told everybody and their mother on my social media. I talked about EXP, and I'm starting a Team GoGo organization. And I call it team, but it's a team in a sense that we do things together. We train together, we mastermind together, we go to events together, we stick together like glue, we refer to each other. Like, teaming is a sense that we're doing this real estate game together, but we do not take a cut. So nobody ever pays me a penny. I don't pay my upline a penny. Our organization is free to join. Yes, you're an EXP agent. You give EXP your cut and cap like every other brokerage, but not to me, right? So it was a very easy concept for me because I didn't have to ask from other agents for money. Does that make sense?
Is that a common framework for EXP, or are you allowed to structure it the way you want to for your own team?
No, everybody's the same way. When you come in, you do need a sponsor. So on your application at EXP, so EXP is a brokerage like any other brokerage, right? Come in, you have a broker or multiple in our case, because now there's 89,000 agents, so per state we have multiple brokers. The little difference with us is that we are cloud-based. We don't actually have an office like Remax. Like, you can't walk into your local office. We don't have one. Now, if you're driving around and you're seeing an EXP office, that's because somebody who came over with their local team or the local brokerage, they already had an office, so now they have a physical location. But other than that, we don't have physical locations. Everything that we do is in the cloud, right? So there's very low overhead, and it allows your business to go nationally and internationally because we are in every single state and in every single country. So back it up. Yes, I was a top producing agent and I made very good amount of money in commissions, but I knew there is another way, which was the agent attraction way to get paid revenue share. And so I did come over with the idea that I want to build a massive organization. I called it the Team GoGo organization. Today there's 1,400 of us. Now we are 7. This is like my 7th year with the company. Right? And revenue share gets paid out right around the 20th of every single month. So it's almost like a salary. It's almost like you can count on money coming in every single month. Yeah. And so I wanted to build something while I'm still young and while I still love this industry and I love working with people and I know I can change their lives. And revenue share, you can leave in your your trust, right? Or your will to whoever you want to leave it to after you're no longer on this earth. Our older son is type 1 diabetic, so he's healthy today, but I wanted to make sure that, God forbid, diabetes takes the best of him one day and he can't hold a job or whatever, right? Then I can build, my husband too, we can build something in our lifetime that will take care of the children's and grandchildren's and all that. So that's called agent attraction. Some people recruit, some people attract. I have never called a single agent. They call me. So I'll create the content around it. So when in real estate, you're working for the next commission, you create content to find buyers and sellers, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, I love the property. When can I see it? In the real estate agent attraction side of things, it's very similar. You do the same thing. You create the content. Your audience changed. So now, instead of talking to buyers and sellers, now I talk to the agents, because now agents is my new audience. So I would show them, I would tell them what EXP did in my life, or what are the benefits, or how we are located everywhere, how they can partner with me without any cost. And then I built a page that's called, it's on my gogobethke.com/partner. So I send them there, right? So if I'm talking about how we have health insurance, I said, hey, if you need health insurance, if you don't have health insurance with the brokerage that you are with, just click the link below and I will see you in my calendar. We'll discuss it. If you like it, you'll bring your business over to EXP. So then I mention these certain things. When they are ready, they will click the link. The link goes to my website. They watch the videos about EXP, what it's like to partner with me. Then they jump into my calendar. I handle their objections. I answer their questions. And at the end, when they're ready, they sign up. I don't chase. I don't follow up with them. If they are ready to change their lives, they will. If not, they're not my people anyway. I don't, whatever's mine is mine. Whatever is not, I'm not chasing. And that's pretty much it. And then we rinse and repeat.
Wow, interesting, very powerful. I mean, it just exemplifies, the power of putting it out there as an attractor, and allowing people to either resonate with it or not. And again, no bones about it. If they don't, they don't. So that's
because
really
you don't want to work with people, right? Like a partnership at EXP, when somebody brings their business over, that's yours, right? Like they are going to be your business partners for years and years and years. I don't want to work with people then I'm stuck for years and we have nothing in common, right? When you're recruiting, you could get pretty much anyone, any walk of life, any type of mindset, any experience, right? When you're attracting, you're really attracting people who resonate with you, where they are just like you. And when they're just like you, there's no drama, right? Like we really get along. When we do our events and we going home, we say I love you, hang up the phone, we say I love you. Like it's a family, right? It's our work family that we created. And it's just, I love attracting, because it's where you're surrounded with the people who are just like you.
I like that. It's interesting. I'm a really big believer in establishing strong culture, and it sounds like you're doing that on the front end of who you're attracting in. What do you do then to maintain culture? How do you, with 1,400 people distributed all over, how do you continue to make sure that you're reinforcing those values and those cultural elements that are important to your team?
Yeah. I mean, it's like herding cats. I don't want anyone to think it's easy. It's not easy, right? Like I get frustrated so many times. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Like we have emailed it to you, we texted it to you, we put it in a Facebook group, we put it in a Facebook chat, like we sent 3 reminders and somehow they miss it, right? So I want to be brutally honest with you. It is not a walk in the park. It is, imagine like 1,400, like it's a whole school. Like you like, you know what I mean? It is not easy to do it, but it's so worth it. The ones who are in real estate, there's an 80-20 rule, right? I would say 80% of the business is done by the top 20% of the agents, right?
Sure. Yep.
Now, our group is actually very, I would say it's very active agents, right? Like very high producing active agents. So I would say at least 50 to 60% of our agents have closed transactions last year, where only 29% of realtors over in the nation have closed deals in 2024. 71% of the realtors haven't closed a single deal in 2024, right? So compared to the average agent nationwide, a Team GoGo agent is, double of our agents have done transactions than nationwide agents, right? Yeah. So we are very high producing. Would I love 100% of us to be that? Absolutely, but you just can't. People go to different phases of life and all that. But we have built, I'm huge on systems and I'm huge on doing the same thing over and over again. So since the date and I joined, which was 2018, November 1st, we have had a Team GoGo training every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. So every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 52 weeks in a year, 7 years in a row, we have done a training. So we are huge on consistency. This way you don't have to answer up like, oh, do we have a training this week? Do we have a link? Do we have the what time? Like, we don't do that. It's
Right.
always Wednesday, it's always 1 o'clock. It has not changed since the day we joined. Unless Christmas falls on a Wednesday, or EXP has EXP Con, which is one big event I want everybody to go to, or we have a big build event every year I want everybody to go to. So on those national holidays or EXP event days, we don't do training, but other than that, every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. We have built a hub, so it's teamgogo.team is our website that everyone that joins us automatically gets their login information, and they have access to everything we do, from the team calendar to the team map where we refer to each other, all of our downloadables, the Google Drive, access to my team, VAs, the onboarding department, pretty much anything that you can think of, right, that we need as agents or agents who are also attracting. We have it in there. We have our own chat, and then we have a generals chat. Generals are the agents who actually attract. So they brought at least 5 agents in their front line. So in that chat, we talk agent attraction. The other chat, we talk production, right? So there's really no way for someone to not make it here. We have trainings out of their ever loving, there's so much training, not only with the training that we provide, but at EXP, when you choose your sponsor, that person is your direct sponsor, but you have 6 more where that came from. So we actually get a 7 generation up sponsors and 7 generations down line. So the agents that you end up bringing, who bring an agent, who bring an agent, who bring an agent, right?
Right.
So when they partner with me, they don't just get access to my training, they also get access to my uplines training, right? Wow. So all of that we built into our Team GoGo training calendar. So when they log in, we add the whole calendar to their calendar. So all they need to do is show up. All the links are in there, all the passwords are in there. So we try to make it as easy as possible. I also feel like recognition is huge, right? So I personally call every single agent when it's their birthday, and I sing them happy birthday with my beautiful voice and my accent. Nice. I torture them. So everybody that I personally sponsored. So I sponsored over 270 agents personally that turned into 1,400. So every morning I wake up, I look at my calendar, and it says you have 3 birthdays to celebrate today. So at some point when I have 5 minutes, I end up leaving them a voice note, and I send them I sing them happy birthday. We celebrate our top producer, top agent attractor, and the icons of the month. So every single month we celebrate who was the top producer, who was the top agent attractor, and who are the icons. And the icons are the agents who have done 20 transactions after capping. EXP is publicly traded, so we get EXPI shares back when we icon. So our cap is $16,000. So every agent that is capping will pay $16,000 to the company. After capping, if you have done 20 more transactions after capping in your own anniversary year, that's what makes an agent an icon agent. When they become icon, they earn that $16,000 back. So it ends up sitting in their retirement account in a form of EXPI stock shares. Yeah. And so we celebrate those agents. Top 6% of the agents at EXP will end up iconing. And so we celebrate the icon agent. So we try to make sure that they feel the love, that they see that their hard work is being noticed and appreciated and acknowledged. We send out gifts, right? So they get mugs, they get t-shirts, they get notebooks, they get things that will help them, feel like they belong, and also to make their businesses better. Yeah. So I think that's a lot of events and masterminds, right? We try to get together physically too.
Yeah. So GoGo, take me back to, the fact that you're out producing by 2x plus the amount of production of most agents in the space. And you talked about systems. I'm curious, what systems are you recommending or driving that you feel are responsible for that production level?
Yeah, so in my organization, so we did 2.7 billion in sales in 2024. Like, that's it. And 2024 was a shitty year, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I was like, we did 2.7 billion in the worst year. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a really, really good year and really good future, right? So I can only teach, I never go against my own beliefs, right? So I teach what I'm good at, and then I use my upline to teach what they are good at. So I kind of walk you through it. So I teach organic marketing, right? And everything that I teach is how to do it for free, how to do it with the power of social media, building your own brand, fishing in your own pond without any cost of doing business. So I run a 90-10, meaning I keep 90% profit and I have about a 10% cost of running my businesses. So I teach that to our agents. Now, does it work for everybody? No, because not everybody is going to stay consistent on social media. Not everybody comfortable getting on camera. Not everybody wants their life out there to the public or talk to a little 3x7 device or whatever these cell phones are, right? So with that being said, then I bring in my upline, right? So my direct sponsor in the company, Curtis Shewell, he runs the #1 team in the state of Michigan, and they do a lot of objection handling, a lot of cold calls, a lot of mindset stuff, a lot of accent role play and those type of things, right? So every morning at 7:30, they have a kind of like a cold calling objection handling call every single morning, and anybody from the Team GoGo organization can call in. It's at 7:30. So any of their mindset and role play and objection handling of, so my client said this, how would you respond, comes from my direct sponsor. So I don't have to teach that. I always had a chip on my shoulder, and I was just like, you don't want to work with me? Go work with whoever else you want to, right? Like I can't teach something that just a personality trait. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people don't know what they are worth, and they, like I always say, know what you're worth and charge tax, right? So I just never had that issue. So my sponsor is amazing at it, and he teaches that every morning at 7:30. Then I also fall into a group called the Fast Forward Movement Group, and they are huge in taking people, turning them into top producers, and then the top producers into a small team, and the small team into a mega icon team, and the mega icon team into a brokerage. And so they're huge in ISAs and, Zillow Flex and, all of those like typical real estate team stuff. I would never do something like that, because I don't, like most teams, if they break a 15% profit, they're balling, which means in order for them to, like, let's say they make $1 million GCI, they end up taking home 150,000. It's end up costing them $850,000 to do business to make 150. I'm like, just stay as a sole agent, go sell 10 houses and make 150 and work way less. But that's a whole other conversation. But there are many people, because the industry was always like, that was the path of making more money. It's like solo agent, top producer, to team lead, to, mega team, to whatever. But all of that comes with so much cost. I don't like to run business with cost. I do organic free. Do it for free if you can, right? So because I can't teach it, that doesn't mean that other people don't want to learn it. That doesn't mean that other people don't want to run business like that. So instead of me having to learn those details, which would be taking space in my brain, I just send them to the Fast Forward Movement. I'm like, if that's how you want to do business, you go to Fast Forward, because they have it figured out, right? Then I also fall into the Honey Badgers group, which is they started the National Association of Expert Advisors, which is a certification program to become a certified listing agent or a certified buyer's agent. So we sent the whole Team GoGo organization there as well, so they can get their certification, so they can get better as a listing agent and better as a buyer's agent. So I just have really amazing upline. I bring in a lot of experts too. So even just because I don't cold call, or I don't do mailers, or I don't door knock, right? It doesn't mean that those avenues in real estate don't work. They work very well. People enjoy doing it. So then I'll bring in the experts. So when we're doing those trainings on Wednesday, I'll bring in the best open house guru to teach how to do the most amazing open house with a huge turnover and 10 new clients, right? And so I bring in the experts. So I personally won't teach something that I wouldn't do. I teach what I do, and whoever's interested comes to learn it. And then I bring in the experts for all of the other avenues of how you can make money in real estate, because I would feel like it's
inauthentic. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm curious, as your organization has grown, how have you had to grow as a leader, and the way you approach the team? And I mean, going from 40 to 1,400 is a massive scale difference. What has that been like?
Oh my gosh, that's a loaded question. You asked some really good questions.
Well, thank you.
Well, let's start with the map, for example. Well, I'll talk about leadership, right? So remind me both. I'll start with leadership. I feel like I don't know about you, but when I was born, God didn't hand me over an SOP of how to be an amazing leader one day, right? And so So there's leadership, and there's also personality traits, and there's also cultural differences, and there's also experience that you had, and there's also the direction that you want to take your business while you're coaching people who just want to sell one house a month. And I'm like, why are you on a coaching call? Like, anybody can sell one house a month. You don't need to get on a coaching call for that, right? Like, just go sell a house and call it a day and move on with your life, right?
Right.
So I had to learn that you can't. For so long I fought them. For so long I felt like I see something in you that you don't even see for yourself, and I just wanted to shake him and push him all the way to the finish line, right? And they are just kicking and screaming like a 3-year-old at Target. And I'm like, why are you fighting? Like, you are self-sabotaging your own success. You could be doing so much better, but you can't want it for people. So I had to realize that I can only change people's life if they want to change their own. And I had to learn to not care so much of other people's businesses. It's just my nature. Like, when I see a problem, I want to fix it, right? And some people just want to talk about it. They just they like their problems. They like their life the way it is. They just want to talk. They don't want to fix
Do you
it. They
think
just
that that's
want it.
from, I mean, just the want, or is it also like limiting beliefs that are in the way for folks? And
Everything that
are
we
you,
have is the 6 inches between your ears.
yeah. How do you help folks, or do you even attempt to help them overcome those limiting beliefs?
Uh, I would love to be able to help everyone, but some people just happily miserable. Like, I don't know,
Right.
I hate to sound harsh, but some people don't have the desire to have a better life. Some people don't even think about it. They accepted that. To some
Yeah.
people, being able to pay your bills every month is like they have it made. They just want to pay their bills. And that would never cut it for me. So I'm always looking for the people who are hungry, who are chasing their next level. And I just love helping them, right? Because I know I can make a difference in your life, because I want to see the results, right? If I'm helping someone, I want to see the results, so I know that my time and energy and knowledge wasn't wasted. But now I really just only help the ones who are like literally raising their hands that they want help. Where in the past, I wanted to pull everyone on the ride, and you can't. You just
Right.
can't. You'll burn out, and you'll burn out mentally too, because you're not going to see the results, because those people didn't sign up for it. It's not their dreams. It's your dream for them, right? And so as a leader, I had to learn that, to allow people to go at their own pace, right? And not pull them faster than they are ready for a life that they never even thought of, I thought of, right?
Right.
Um, so I think that's on the leadership side, is to just help them when they raise their hand, not push help down their throat. And that took me quite a few years.
To learn that. Yeah. Yeah.
Still in the process. But on the technical side of things, right, as we are growing, like when I had 40 agents and somebody asked me, who do you have in Sarasota? I was like, oh my gosh, I have so and so, right? Who do you have in Michigan? Oh, I have so and so, right? As we are growing to 1,400 agents, I don't know who we have in Timbuktu, Idaho. I just can't. Like, we have anywhere from 50 to 100 agents joining us every single month, and many of them I meet, many of them maybe I never will, right? So in order to make sure that everyone gets the leads, right, because that's how we keep so much of our transactions in-house, is our map. So we created a map. So as a leader, I feel like you need to be the visionary to see where we are going, and then to build the infrastructure, so then that can handle the growth, right? So then we said, okay, we have a problem, and we can't possibly remember everybody and know their phone number and know the area that they cover and their email address, and how they can and how do they communicate with each other, instead of all 1,400 coming to me to be like, who do you have, right? So then, okay, we need to build the infrastructure. So we built a Team GoGo map. So any of you who are listening here, if you go to teamgogo.team/map, those are all of the Team GoGo agents. So if you're ever looking for an agent anywhere in the nation, feel free to just go teamgogo.team/map, pick an agent, and those are all Team GoGo agents in my downline and organization here at EXP. So as you're growing, I feel like you just have to be always 2 steps ahead as a good leader, to see what direction the wind is blowing, and then to build the infrastructure that works for everybody. Now, the hard part is to get them all on the boat,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
like the boat is built. They say you build it and they come. Maybe.
Not that easy.
They're not that easy and not all of them all at once. So I feel like the struggle as we are growing is to get every information to every agent at the same time. Not everyone is tech savvy the same way. Not everyone is on social media. Not everyone, you know what I mean? Not everyone checks their email, and not our email doesn't work every time. Sometimes it ends up in a spam, right? And so it's like I feel like no matter how hard we try with all of our systems as we are growing, you can't necessarily have everyone involved at all time as much as I wish. So, but you can only do your best, right? So as you're growing, try to build the infrastructure, try to build the communications and the automations, make it as simple as possible. Have one place for them to go to. So we have our team GoGo.team, and now we are working potentially on an app. So then everybody has it, because realtors are busy. This is their
Sure.
office. So the
Yeah.
easier we can make it for everyone to be a part of our community, we always constantly building new tricks and things that it's easier, but we'll never be able
Yeah.
to have them all
I'll
pay
bet in
attention.
2011 you had no idea you'd be an app developer.
No, no, I did not. Actually, I think I made a post a couple of days ago because I do have another community that's called the GoGo community, which is entrepreneurial, and I teach anything I learned in the last 15 years to take six-digit entrepreneurs to seven digits with all the systems, automations, virtual assistants, all of that. And that one just got the app approved. So the GoGo community app on Android is approved. It's not approved on Apple yet because Apple, man, are they just,
Yeah, they're
whoa,
tough. Yeah.
don't get me
Yeah.
started. Taking 3 months in this app development, and we still don't have the approval. But we do have the approval on the Android side of things. So yes, officially, I developed an app.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Oh yeah, it's
this,
it's pains, and you grow with it.
yeah, I'm curious on that group that you developed the app for. Um, what are the obstacles you're seeing that people bump up against at the six-figure mark, and what has to happen for them to break through and get to that seven-figure mark?
Oh gosh, I think the biggest one is leveraging, learning to leverage, and then automations, right? I don't want to speak for everyone, but I would say most entrepreneurs got to where they are at through good old hustle and hard work. And they get to a point, right, where you're everything. You're the CPA and the bookkeeper, and you're the attorney, and you're the salesperson, and you're the operations, and you're the assistant, and you're the virtual assistant, and you're everything, right? And you cannot grow. You cannot grow like that. You will hit a personal ceiling. And when you
Right.
hit that, I feel like the biggest hurdle that most entrepreneurs have a really hard time getting over is I can do it better, I can do it faster, I'm already
Right.
burnt out, I don't have time to train you, I don't even have systems to train you because I was winging it over here for the last 7 years, and now I'm supposed to slow down and build the systems. I don't freaking have the time, and on top of it teach you, and then you're gonna quit, and then I need to start over 3 months from now teaching somebody else. I don't have time for this. I'm just gonna go back do it myself, right? But then
Right.
you cannot get out of that never ending whatever that
Yep.
is.
Yeah. Whirlwind. Yeah.
So I think that is the number one biggest hurdle that, and so hiring assistants, virtual assistants in my case, that's how I'm able to keep a 90/10 is by having help from other countries where labor is way more affordable. And the next one I would say automations and systems, because they're so busy and they're so used to doing the same thing. Most of them don't stop to be like, why do I? Well, first of all, does that still make me money, or I do it because I always done it? Or if I do it and it does make me money, is there a way to like automate this? Like, could a VA do this, or could an app do this, or could a system do this? Could a Google Drive, could a Zapier integration do this for me? And they're so used to that data entry day to day of like, oh, I'll just
Right.
get it done.
Right.
So busy that they don't have the time to research or to upkeep with the AI technologies of the world, right? Like literally I have 200 CEOs, CFOs, and COOs in my ChatGPT AI. Then I can literally go to and talk to like, hey, I'm opening this business, I'm thinking this, what are you guys thinking? Right? Like I'm on top of technology and I'm 2 steps ahead. And most of the people just they're head down in production so much, their heads are spinning with their credit cards not being paid on time and all of that. So I think the two biggest things is the cheapest form of implementation is technology, right? Is the apps, it's the chat
Yep.
GPTs of the world, the Zapier integrations. So that I would be number one, but you don't have time to set it up, and nor is it worth my hourly rate. My hourly rate is $2,400 an hour. I am not sitting there and integrating Zapier, linking Zapier website to a text message. Like, not my job. That's a VA's job, right? So this is where I think most people, if you learn to honor your hourly rate, most don't even know their own hourly rate. If you learn to honor your hourly rate and never do anything that doesn't make you that money in the hour, which means you have to hire it out or automate it, right? I always say automate it, delegate it, or eliminate it. Automation is the cheapest one. Automate it. If an app can do it, let an app do it. Then delegate it. If an app can do it, or the app needs to be set up and it's going to take 3 months, like a Go High Level, right, to set up, then delegate it. Let a virtual assistant or somebody whose hourly rate is much lower than yours do it. And if it cannot be delegated and it cannot be automated, eliminate it, because it's never going to make you the amount of money. So I live my life by delegated, automated, delegated, or eliminated, and that's what I teach inside of the GoGo community.
I like that framework. That's really good. Yeah. I think I love the framework. I think the challenge is, and you mentioned earlier, is oftentimes entrepreneurs are used to doing it themselves. They have a very high standard for how they expect it to be done because they were the ones doing it. Are there recommendations that you can give to how to effectively give that to, how to delegate it, how to give that to a VA and ensure that it'll be done the way you want it done?
Yeah, so there's like, we are huge on SOPs. So all of my VAs and everything they do for me, they have SOPs, and an SOP is a standard operating procedure. It's like a book of step-by-step instructions, right? So if one of my VAs quits, the new VA just goes there, watches the videos, follows the step-by-step, and they're trained. I don't ever have to teach them how to do something. Plus, I don't know how to teach you how to do something because I've never done it, right? So the previous person is going to train you. But the other thing, so that was another thing. People would ask me all the time, how do you find your VAs? How do you train your VAs? How do you oh my gosh, it's so complicated. So I would say one of the biggest parts in the having access to the GoGo community is having access to my team. So my team will go live with your team every Tuesday and every Wednesday. So if you tell your team of like, hey, go color coordinate my Google Calendar the same way GoGo has it, and they don't know how to do it, they just come on Tuesday to my team and my team will show them exactly how to do it. So it's not just getting the training and the mindset and the systems and the, my team just showed me our whole new downloadable resources library. Any tracker, any document, any contract, anything that I have ever mentioned inside of the community, you just go there and download it. Make your own copy. It's yours right away, right? So we'll give them all that. We also tell them what they need to do with it. There's video trainings and everything. But if they still stuck and they can't figure it out, they have my team to come to. So I think that is the biggest thing is having when I was growing up in this industry, there was nobody for me to go to. I had to wing it. I had to hire my own people. I had to train them on things that I didn't even know how to do. Right? Sometimes I hired VAs and I would pay for a course for a VA to go figure out Go High Level, or go figure out ClickFunnels, or go figure out Kajabi or Vistia or whatever platform that we were implementing into our system, because I have no patience to do that. It is not my wheelhouse. It is not my time best spent. But if they didn't have the experience, somebody had to teach them. Right? So then I would go pay for the course for my VA to go through it. And so they're very knowledgeable. Many of my VAs have been with me for past 5 years, right? So when our members have their team and they need training and all that, they can come to mine. I think there was another big lack in the industry of not having that tech support. Who do I call? It's not like I don't know how to use it. It's not like you can call Google and be like, hey guys, I'm trying to color coordinate my boss's calendar. Can you help me how to do that? No, you just need somebody to go to. Just show me you already done it. It's going to take you 2 minutes. Instead of me spending 3 hours here to figure it out, just show me in 2 minutes so I can move on with my life. Exactly. So I think that was another thing that's very important, to have somebody to go to for a quick response who's been there where you want to go.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. It's a great resource. GoGo, if you could give a single piece of advice to agents in 2025, what would that be?
Oh. Agents in 2025. I would say, I don't know if you saw this, but the very first robot AI that had $1 million GCI was in Portugal. It's a robot. And it's an AI, and it has sold more real estate than probably most realtors in Portugal and collected $1 million GCI. So my point with that is, if you don't stay on top of technology, you are going to be a dinosaur, and dinosaurs are extinct.
Yeah, I just read day before yesterday that the pace of AI is now effectively doubling every 7 months. So what we used to know as Moore's law, where technology would double every 2 years, AI is moving 3 times as quickly. So I
It is
totally agree.
it is unbelievable. Like one of the trainers who trains inside of the Go Get community, her name is Carrie Sove, and she's actually the AI advisor for EXP. And she has this amazing chat GPT that she built out for realtors. I mean, it has everything. That's where that CEO one that I was talking about, that I'm so freaking
Yeah.
excited about it. It's like literally having 200 CEOs in your back pocket. What can that do for your business? Like literally, some of the most amazing CEOs in the world, their brain and their knowledge is downloaded into this ChatGPT brain, and you can just pick their brain instead of having to spend $150,000 on one person a year, right, or more. You can just have 200 of them in your back pocket. There's a whole marketing one. There's a social media one. Like all I'm saying, if you don't stay on top of technology, you will not be in business. Mark my words.
I think it's great advice and extremely pertinent right now. I think that you're absolutely right. It's pacing so quickly, and you've got to be on top of it. You got to lean into it.
Yeah. So
Gogo,
I
how
try.
can people? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just saying. I always try to stay 2 steps ahead of what's going on in the industry and prep and train for it. So by the time it hits our industry, we're like, "Yep, I got this."
Exactly, exactly. Gogo, how can people stay connected with you and find you?
Well, you can find me on GoGo's Real Estate everywhere. That's Instagram, Facebook, you name it, and also gogobethke.com. So on gogobethke.com, which is my name.com, you can find everything about me. If you want to have me on your podcast, if you want me to come and speak, if you want to join Team GoGo, if you want to join the GoGo community, whatever that I do, you will always be able to find it on gogobethke.com.
Fantastic. Uh, Thanks for being a part of Local Leverage today. If you like this episode, please subscribe or share this with a friend or colleague. Make sure that they're getting the same value you received. GoGo has been a pleasure and very inspirational. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.